with Elias Sampson for longer than one damn fucking pay-per-view.
And the fact that the chances are that we see that at one of the big four is just going to be disappointing. What I think they should do is just have this one at Great Balls of Fire, have Finn go over, let it be a one-off, and then reactivate the damn feud between him and Rollins. That way Rollins could go up against somebody that actually can, hang. Have their rematch be like a grudge match at freaking SummerSlam. Winner gets like #1 contender for the Universal title. I don't care.
But here's the thing: with Vince being off the
rumors
Balor
are he's
bandwagon.
completely off the Balor bandwagon, like completely.
I'm just saying that's what I think they should do, not what they are going to do.
It would make sense, seeing as how why they've resorted Finn to fighting guys like Jinder Mahal back when he was there.
But that was a one-off match, though.
Yeah, but wait. Those matches to me were different because that was when Balor was just getting back.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like trying to rebuild his momentum a little, get him a couple wins before you shoved him right back in the title picture. That, I understood a little bit. I don't understand this. Samson has done nothing to prove he belongs in a ring with Finn Balor.
One thing he's been doing is just showing up in backstage interviews, playing the guitar, not saying anything.
And even
I get the gimmick.
I get the gimmick too, but it's just like, really?
At the same time, it's like, if they're really trying to build up, out of all people, Elias Sampson, they should have definitely did it a little bit better. And not just have him walk around playing the guitar and looking all fucking creepy, because he's kind of really creepy.
He just looked like a stalker who has a guitar.
Yeah, literally. He didn't look like a drifter. He just looked like he was stalking you, playing the guitar, and shortly after that, just like, kid, it's kind of awkward. But, you know what? We're going to roll with it because Vince is our boss and he said so.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what we're seeing here. And like I said, Elias Sampson might be a main player. However, this is kind of what people got mad about with Roman.
Yeah.
Samson's been moved up to the main roster. Didn't legitimately win any matches yet. The only matches he won against Ambrose were
like DQ.
By DQ or with the Miz's involvement. Before that, he was facing a bunch of friggin' what'd you call them? What do you call them? Crush matches or whatever?
Squash matches.
He had a bunch of squash matches. He hasn't had a legitimate feud with anybody that's a mid-card guy yet. And to me, Finn Balor is way more than a mid-card guy. So, not sure what we're seeing here or why we're seeing it. My only hope in this whole situation is that this is a one-time squash deal and Finn gets the win and we move on from this. That's my hope. But I don't see things going that way, unfortunately.
Moving into the main event of the evening, speaking of a certain someone, I actually thought this was going to be like a squash match.
Far from it.
Far from it. Completely blew my mind. Out comes Braun Strowman. And it's like, alright, who's he fighting? We hear Titus's music hit, and I'm like, God, please don't tell me. Apollo Crews' music cues up. Apollo's getting pumped, starts going down to the ring. And I'm like, yep, here we go, it's over. He's dead. Like, that's it. Like, he's squashed. But Apollo got some offense in. It was actually
he got some great offense in.
Main event. I didn't know that they were plans to even push up. Like,
I don't know if this was a plan to push Apollo.
They're
gonna to show that he's like good.
They're gonna push Apollo at least like mid card level. Because think about it this way: if it was gonna be like a one-off match just for Braun to prove, hey, I'm better than everybody else,
they wouldn't have had to go on like that.
He would have died in like the first 20 seconds of the match.
I mean, all right. Don't get me wrong. I was thoroughly impressed with Apollo Crews' performance, but again, I think we have to take this in context a little, right? When that music cued and he was coming out, we all assumed, okay,
he's dead.
30-second squash match. He's going to hit the ring. Bell's going to ring. Braun's going to hit him with a friggin' clothesline, pick him up, power slam all over. That's what we all thought was about to happen. Now, for the first 5 minutes of this match, it was Braun destroying Apollo Crews. Then Apollo had his, we'll say, 2-minute opportunity, where he hit a nice little series of moves, boom, boom, boom. And then, honestly, the best part of the whole thing, though, was when he went to go for what looked like was going to be a standing backflip, and instead, effectively got punted across the friggin' ring.
Landing on his neck.
He landed on his neck and then kind of rolled
and with the
out
way,
with his head like
by
that.
Braun.
It looked so brutal.
With the way he was laid out, I literally sat there thinking he's dead.
Listen,
like he's paralyzed from the neck
the
down.
one thing that showed me, honestly showed me, is how freakishly strong Braun Strowman actually is.
Not only that, but quick too. In order to do that,
The timing of it, yes,
yeah,
I agree.
Having the timing is one thing, but to
But-
execute it,
Apollo Crews has got to be like 210,
At least
215, something around, maybe bigger than that. Okay, it's hard to tell on TV and stuff, but we'll say he's close to we'll say 220 to round it up, right? That's 220 worth of dead weight falling. And somehow Braun timed it perfectly and didn't just kind of kick him and he rolled away. He literally punted him halfway across the friggin' ring. This dude is scary strong.
Yeah.
Like, that was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Even though it was something that looked so simple, it was actually
very difficult.
incredibly difficult and an amazing show of how strong the man is.
None of that. It was just hard to watch. All of us cringed when we saw that shit.
And the next 5 minutes of the match was him.
Just power slamming him,
Yeah,
picking
hitting
him
power
up,
slams.
and just power slamming him
And at
again.
one point he licked his head for some reason.
I don't know.
Not really
That was
sure.
weird.
Not really sure
It's
why
like
he did
Braun,
that.
he's not actual chocolate.
So then after 3 power slams, Braun gets the win. Tries to pick him up for a 4th time. And Titus gets involved. Pulls down Apollo, gets in the ring with
And here's
Braun.
another missed opportunity by the WWE. Because, and I'll tell you why. When Titus pulled Apollo down, right? And Braun kind of stepped back and was like, come on. Titus gets in. And all of a sudden, if you can feed off your fans, when Titus hit the ring, the fans started going, I can't do it. My throat's all scratchy. But they started doing the Georgia bark. That Georgetown bark that he does. Titus comes out and does his whole thing. That thing. The fans were all of a sudden rallying behind Titus. Now, I'm not saying that Titus had to drop Strowman or actually win this exchange, but if he could have at least mounted some kind of offense for a minute, then maybe going forward you could have actually pushed this into a little something on Monday Night Raw at least. But instead, it was one clothesline and Titus was dead.
So Titus got 2 hits in, followed by a clothesline, a power slam. That was the end of that. Grabs Apollo Crews, throws him over the barricade. They start walking through the crowd.
Wait, before this, if you paid attention, you knew something was up. My man right here picked it out.
Because everyone looked
He says to
toward
me, he
the
goes,
entrance.
what's going on? He's like, look. Like, everybody in the crowd is looking the opposite way of the match.
Like looking towards the ambulance and everything.
And as he said it, I turned and I said, it's got to be Roman Reigns. Who the hell else could it be? And as they head up towards the ambulance, we were all sitting here calling different spots where we thought he was going to come out.
I said he was coming out of the ambulance. So one of you said that he
No,
was
I said
jumping.
he was coming out of the
One of
ambulance.
you-
You said he's on the roof.
No, I didn't say he was on the roof.
I said he was on the
Oh.
roof. I said he was coming out of the roof. I
I'm-
thought he was
I'm-
going to come out of the audience first.
I thought he was gonna jump off the stage and fucking start pounding on.
I thought he
Braun.
was going to be in the back.
But
Because considering how dark it was in that shit.
instead, Braun loads Apollo Crews into the ambulance and goes,
Sirens turn on. Or no, the lights turn on. No
lights
sirens.
become. Thing doesn't move. Braun goes over again.
Taps it again. Sirens turn on this time.
Still doesn't move. Braun goes over again. Sirens go off. Braun goes over again. Lights go off. So
Ambulance
now
goes off in general.
Braun starts looking and he starts heading over to the driver's seat. And he looks in, and all of a sudden the door flies open, and Roman Reigns hits Braun with the only right uppercut. I mean, I know wrestling's fake and all, but this sounded about as real as you can get. That was the shot heard round that stadium, boy. That thing was clean. Okay? It looked like he connected. And if he did, Braun Strowman's got a fucking piece of iron granite for a chin.
Because the only thing you hear is, and you just see his head go back, and I'm just like,
and
damn.
I didn't see Roman get an opportunity to like slap his arm or something to make the noise. All I saw was his hand connect with Braun's face, and I heard the sound. And the brawl breaks out. Braun looks like he's getting the better of it. Then Roman knocks him back into the Raw sign on the stage. And immediately we were both thinking, spear his ass to the Raw thing. Well, Braun shuffled away from that, and we were like, oh, man.
They were like, wait, spear him off the stage.
Yep. And Roman...
And he did it.
God, I love Roman Reigns. You obliged. You speared that big friggin' grizzly bear right off that stage. Through a couple tables and whatever the hell else they piled up down there for no apparent reason. And it was a great moment to build up their fight even more. And did we hear boos tonight for Roman?
I didn't hear none. I heard a
I
huge
heard
pop,
a whole
actually.
pop. Yeah, I heard a huge pop for Roman. Vince's plan, as much as it normally doesn't work, has actually worked in this occasion. Because Roman, lately, has not been winning that much.
I mean, like, 2 weeks ago he lost to 2 weeks ago he lost to Samoa Joe.
Yep.
Then last week he got thrown head first into an ambulance.
Yep.
After losing to Samoa Joe again, didn't he?
No. First 2 weeks ago he lost to Joe, and that's when Braun came back.
Right.
Then last week
I thought Braun came out again when him and Joe were actually having a match. I thought Joe choked him out again.
No. That was
No?
like 2 weeks ago where that's where Joe choked him out when it was revealed that
I didn't
Braun
actually
came out.
watch Raw last week. I was busy with personal matters, but I thought it happened again. Maybe I was just seeing a video clip of the previous week again. But Roman has not been winning. He lost the Fatal 5-Way. He lost to Samoa Joe. Before that, he was losing to Braun at like every friggin' pay-per-view.
Yep.
You know? I mean, Roman had not been winning lately. And all of a sudden, the fans are kind of sitting there going, the hell's Roman losing all the time? Like, what's going on? You know, and man, listen, I don't understand the hatred for Roman Reigns. I never have, honestly. You know, because, like I said a million times now, that man, at his size, his athletic ability is ridiculous. Some of the stuff he does is ridiculous. His promo work is getting better every time he touches a mic.
Slowly but surely.
And I am yet, with the exception of the Undertaker match, which I still don't believe was Roman's fault, I'm yet to see him in a bad match. The Taker match, I do believe it was just Taker's age catching up with him. But
It was still a good match, though.
It was a great way to end Raw. Roman has a lot of hype behind him all of a sudden. Got the momentum kind of behind him. However, I still firmly believe he's losing on Sunday. Unless what we're reading is true and Roman and Brock has been moved up to SummerSlam. Because if that's the case, then Roman's winning Sunday. Because you can't have Roman lose and then somehow he winds up the number one contender.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's possible they could run with like Samoa Joe and Lesnar again at the next pay-per-view, but they say it all depends on how the people backstage see Samoa Joe and Brock building. And so far, I think it might go to a second
Am I
match.
the only one who wants to see Brock and Braun?
No, I
want to see it too.
I'm dying to see that. And I know it won't be a very long match because they're two very large men and stamina levels aren't very high with guys that big. But I think for like the 10 minutes it is on, it's going to be just a bloodbath. suplexes and power slams everywhere.
And I'm not finished with yous.
And I think the only reason that Vince has hesitated to pull the trigger on this one is because of the way both men are built up.
Yeah.
They're both built up as like monsters.
As indestructible monsters. Well, in that match, one of them's got to be the puny monster, if you will.
Well, if you look at it the way everyone else kind of looks at it, look what happened with Big Show and Mark Henry. It's not really that long of a match. You got two guys kind of stumbling around.
Yeah, that match was actually really short at TLC.
Exactly. Then, like with like Big Show and Kane, you got like two guys also stumbling around.
You know, that's why Braun versus Big Show was so impressive.
Yeah.
Because those two put on like a 20-minute match, and it was damn impressive.
Yeah.
Since Big Show dropped the weight, he's moving a lot better, man.
Same thing with Braun. Braun's dropped a lot of weight since he came back. Like, I literally noticed the difference when he came out of the ambulance. I'm like, yeah, he dropped it. You can tell. It's blatantly obvious.
That was pretty much the end of Raw.
Yeah.
What we know so far about the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view is we're going to have Neville versus
Akira
Tozawa.
Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss.
Sasha versus Alexa. You're going to have the Hardys against Sheamus and Cesaro in an Iron Man match.
Which I'm really looking forward to.
We're going to have
Joe versus Lesnar, obviously.
Joe versus Lesnar for the title. You're going to have Braun versus Roman in an ambulance match. You're going to have Rollins versus Wyatt. I mean, Great Balls of Fire is actually
looking like pretty good pay-per-view.
shaping up into an amazing...
Oh, and then we got Enzo versus Cass.
Yeah, it's shaping up into a really solid pay-per-view. I mean, it looks like it could be maybe the pay-per-view event of the year so far.
Because their lineup is just that good.
You know?
Still can't deal with the name, but it's all good.
But, see, these are the pay-per-views that are dangerous, though.
Yeah.
Because the lineup is there.
Yeah.
So it should be an amazing pay-per-view. But if WWE finds any way, like they always do, to fuck this up, it's going to be one of the worst things you've ever seen.
Yep.
Because expectations are going to be high on this one.
Yep. Especially with the card you got going into it.
Oh, they have probably one of the best cards they've had in a while.
Oh, you're going to have Balor versus Samson, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Which
And
I'm
then
not sure if that's going to be the pre-show or what.
And then Ambrose versus Miz.
See, this is why things are so uneven right now, though. SmackDown pay-per-views are like 4 matches.
Yeah.
Whereas Raw's about to have one that's got, what, 8?
All right, let's count it down. Roman versus Strowman. Lesnar versus Joe. Samson versus Balor.
Sasha and Bliss.
Sasha and Bliss.
Neville and
Tozawa.
Hardys and Sheamus.
Hardys and Sheamus.
Miz and Ambrose.
Miz and Ambrose. Cass and Enzo.
Yeah, that's
Are
8
we
matches.
missing any?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it,
8 matches.
Yeah, 8 matches.
It's an uneven balance right now, man. And it's hurting not just the brands, but it's hurting the superstars, too. There's too many of them jumbled up on Raw right now, man.
Way too many.
You did the brand split for a reason. To get more storylines from more superstars.
No, the real reason was because SmackDown was skyrocketing while Raw was...
And now Raw is starting to get good.
And now Raw is, yeah! And SmackDown's like...
Well, there's also a big rumor that we're about to get, like, 5 or 6 injections to SmackDown from NXT.
Which is awesome.
You know, which, listen, if that's their overall plan right now, is to have SmackDown be the home of NXT guys as they come up
Yeah.
to the main roster, then fine.
Yeah.
But you got to do something where we at least have a decent core on SmackDown. Right now, every time the core kind of gets stabilized, they pull pieces away to bring them over to Raw.
Yep.
But that's pretty much it. Inside the ropes. Again, Raw review. Thank you guys. And we'll see you next time.